Presidential politics started our program this evening, and presidential politics will come close to concluding it. You know, over the past few weeks, we've aired clips from a series entitled The 2016 People's Presidential Project, courtesy of Concord TV up in New Hampshire. Today, those fine folks share their interview with a current and former governor who might be interested in the Oval Office. First, let's hear from former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley as he answers the question, what would make you the people's president?
I would be the people's president because I was raised to understand and to believe very deeply in my core that the genius of our country is actually about the people of the United States, that our diversity is our greatest strength, that the most important place in America is actually a family's kitchen table. I was raised by two people who were born to the Great Depression, won the Second World War, and they taught all six of us, their children, that the only thing wrong with politics is not enough good people try. My father went to college on a GI Bill because of a far-seeing and generous country that perhaps even believed more in him than he believed in himself as a young man. Our country is great, and our economy can be great again, but only if we remember the truth that unites us, that it really is about people. The economy is not money. The economy, our economy, is people. And right now we've created an economy where whole swaths of people throughout our country are feeling like it's not working for them. People are working harder and falling further behind. Lots of young men, especially in the hearts of big American cities, feel they are unneeded, unheard, unnecessary, unwanted, and that's because they're facing unemployment rates, as indeed we see in places all across our country, that for young men are in many cases higher than they were even 8 or 10 years ago. It doesn't need to be this way. This is not how our country is supposed to work and not how our economy is supposed to work. We need to put people back at the center of our economic theories and make the better choices that our parents and grandparents made, understanding that the stronger we make our country, the more she can give back to us, to our children, and to our grandchildren. We are Americans, and we make our own future. Thanks a lot.
Democrat Martin O'Malley, the former governor of Maryland. Now, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, a Republican, interviewed by a reporter from Concord TV outside an appearance at a local diner in New Hampshire. Here is Governor Christie's much shorter answer to the same question.
I think if I decide to run for president, I'm just going to be who I am. And in the end, that's all you can be, and I think all people should expect. I think all too often in politics we have people who try to pretend to be something else. If they think that's what works for the particular day, that's not me. So some days I'll be people's cup of tea, and some days I won't. But they'll never have to wonder what I really think, what I really feel, and what I intend to do and what I won't do. So that's the way I'll handle things.
And we thank our friends again at Concord TV. More candidates in the days ahead. Well, we heard what those two potential presidential candidates had to say. Now it's time to hear what you had to say via social media. We talked earlier about ISIS. Our first comment tonight comes from Paul, who references the U.S. Special Forces raid in Syria that killed the so-called chief financial officer of the Islamic State. Paul writes, the U.S. Army Delta Force just proved how effective boots on the ground can be. All right. Thanks very much. And as you may recall, we had Coach Lou Holtz on with us last night. Bill writes in, whoever you are, whatever you are, good or bad, it's because of the choices you make. Choose to do drugs, drop out of school, join a gang, etc. You're choosing to have difficulty in life, and don't blame me for the decisions you make. JD, the man's too smart to run for office, but goodness knows we could use him. If ever there was a John Wooden of the gridiron, it's Lou Holtz. Well said, Bill. Now, as I mentioned last night, Coach Holtz recruited me a few years ago to play for him at NC State. Heard from one of my old teammates, Jay, who was watching the interview. He writes, it was super to see our former coach Lou Holtz on your program last night. Fundamentals stand the test of time, and Lou has made a living spreading a consistent message that was the same you and I heard when we were part of the NC State football program in the 70s. Jay, I couldn't agree more. Thanks for the comments. That'll do it. See you tomorrow night. Stay brave, stay free, stay tuned.